The first things that we have to do is that we've got to stop having education be about the adults. We've just totally ignored the science of education. If we come up with science that means adults have to do things differently, we simply stop the process. We don't take education any further. The second thing is that we've really got to begin early. We have found that our kids begin learning literally from the moment of birth. And we as educators haven't really tapped into the power of that brain between 0 and 3. The third thing is that comprehensive supports really matter to children. People keep trying to make education all about curriculum and testing and data, and there's another group saying it's about social services and education. It's actually about all of that together, and we've got to really use this blended sort of learning opportunities for young people. The fourth is, look, you can't start with a great school in elementary school and think that that's going to solve the problem. Kids need high quality education throughout their entire educational period, and in particular when these kids get to college, and often we forget about college. And guess what happens to poor kids when they go to college? They drop out at numbers that are just staggering. So we believe that staying with these kids until they graduate from college is really the span of time you have to think about education. And the last is really about data, evaluation, and accountability. In the end, we've got to be really honest about data. We've got to collect it. We've got to use it in real time. I don't need to give a test in April and get the results back in August, the way we do in New York City when no kids are around and then no one looks at the data again. I mean, it's a waste of time and energy. I need that data in September to make sure I know what to do starting from day one with these kids. And then you've got to figure out whether or not it's working. Look, lots of strategies are great, but they don't work for every child. We need to figure out what's working, what's not working. And this last issue is about accountability. In the end, we've got to hold the adults accountable. I'm sorry to say that's not just at elementary, middle, and high school, it's also at the college level. Kids come into college, many of these kids are struggling, they're dropping out in record numbers, and the college feels like, you know what, that's not my problem. It is, because the taxpayers are paying billions of dollars for these loans. We've got to make sure throughout that kid's entire career, we're holding everybody accountable. We're the teachers, it's our job to figure out what we need to do for you to get an education. And I think these are some of the strategies that we should use.